In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club.
What's up, y'all? What's up? It's I'm gonna address this Katt Williams thing one time, man. I saw people on there really commenting about that. Look, I have no idea what this brother is talking about. That joke is over 30 years old, close to 30-something years old. I did the Kings of Comedy in 1999. Probably have been doing that joke 6, 7 years before that. I don't even know if Katt was doing comedy then. So, you know, again, he's a talented brother. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never seen Katt do a space shuttle joke. So, you know, that may be something that he believes is true. I've written a lot of jokes. I've had a lot of comedians steal my jokes as well. So I understand if you feel, you know, slighted by that, but that's my joke. That's my joke, dog. Driving a space shuttle to the moon, cigarette, cutie pie rocking in the background, parallel parking the space shuttle. It's my joke, dog. So
2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy. And he's doing it verbatim. He's just changed my car into a spaceship.
Tracing where Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy. Yeah. You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You fucked off promo shoots. You fucked off your promo fucking trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped fucking with you.
Why was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what? I got to fix me, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to stand up for comedy. Mm-hmm. So when you say Tiffany Haddish doesn't deserve or isn't really a comedian, and these other women have worked hard, which they have. Shouts out to Melanie Camacho. Shouts out to Lou Nell. Shouts out to Leslie Jones, who are all underneath the umbrella of Katt Williams. Katt Williams, have you ever used your platform to fucking bring the people that were under you up? You haven't. So because you haven't, don't shit on those that now are. I've used my platform, and I brought my guys and girls up. The brand of Kevin Hart is a brand that's expanded so far, whether you like me or not. My presence in comedy will forever be felt.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Katt Williams bought the Knicks.
He definitely bought it.
He bought the Knicks, and it's rumored that he took the Knicks back.
He made the team.
He played.
He played. Oh, he
He
played.
played with the Knicks. He played with them.
We know he's fast. They say he's fast.
Yeah,
He run
one of the fastest.
3.9. He figured out how to play basketball from reading all them books.
3,000 of them.
3,000 a year.
A year.
That's 2 a day. That's 6 years old. That's 2 a day. Hey.
Smartest kid to ever do it. They kept it a secret for 48 years. They kept it a secret. It just dropped off. Another known fact, Katt dropped them off.
Oh, wow. Katt just dropped John Morant.
He gave him a ride.
Then he paid a spaceship. Okay.
Known fact, Katt Williams has an NBA basketball court in his living room. He's the first to embrace a true hardwood floor.
Yeah. He playing against that little boy that put him on the ground?
Another known fact.
By the way, it's a known fact that Katt Williams do not breathe oxygen, so it didn't bother him.
Yeah.
Oh, copy that. You can't choke him out. That's a known fact.
Everybody knows that.
He's 92-6 in one-on-one.
LA, nigga. I've been doing shit. I was on That's So Raven. I was on all this shit. I did extra work. I was on all of the white people TV shows, the black people TV shows. I used to be on Dance 360. I've been out here. I've been telling jokes since 1996. 1996. This man said, oh, they wouldn't let her perform in the Comedy Store. That's true. They wouldn't let me perform on the white nights in the Comedy Store, but I performed on all the black nights. They wouldn't let me perform on the white nights at the Improv, but I performed on all the black and Latino nights.
She said, I'm not mad. I just wish he would get his facts right about me. Dang, I guess I will send him a reminder text. But are we sure that this is Katt Williams? He looks a lot like Charleston White.
Say, that nigga Ludacris, then responded to Katt Williams with a rap song.
Whatever's heavy on my heart is always on my mind. Like Snoop's cannabis shredder, I'm always on my grind. They throwing shade cause niggas could never take my shine. I bring my watch collection on my jet. Let me take my time. Like fine wine, I'm aging like Benjamin. Top 5, I'm worth mentioning. Bring me rappers, I'm lynching them. See the pendulum swing, Jesus with diamond thorns. Ludicrous, swaddled in Gucci linens when I was born. Never been Illuminati, only Illuminati. And I only left with bitches when coming from any party. Now I'm married with kids, the evolution of life. Never been a clout chaser, never say shit for likes. R.I.P. John Singleton. You never have to flex when you earn every one of your Fast and Furious checks. Afro with the sideburns, yeah, that's my signature. Addiction's on the rise, comedians check your temperature.
That was the weirdest shit out of all of them. Man, hey, listen. That was the craziest shit. That's what everybody overlooking the fact that Ludacris, he responded with a rap song. That lets you know how fucked up this shit is. If you say I've been at a gay party getting fired, I ain't finna make you no song. I'm finna call you a motherfucking lie. I'm gonna call you on your phone. You lying. You ain't seen me in no mother. That made a rap. That responded with a jingle. Say, that lets you know he guilty. Come back with a rap song. A hell of a rap song. Ain't rapped in 20-some years. Ain't made a rap song in 20 years. Soon as Katt Williams say, hey, I seen you coming out that funny room though. With walking bow-legged, you were knock needed before you went in. Your thighs were rubbed together. You come out of there bow-legged. That boy say now he gonna make a song. I ain't never was on my mind. They made a commercial jingle to respond to Katt Williams instead of saying you a goddamn lie. That's how you call. That's how you tell he lying. You don't go write no 116 bar for no nigga. You get on the airwaves and say he lying, baby. Ain't never seen me coming out there and play walking bow-legged. Say, boy, hey, bro, say, the thing because ain't nobody came out and called him a motherfucking lie. Trick Daddy, the only one say I kick your ass. I'm a stripper. Rest of them they've been talking circles. That's why I told you I only want 5 million. And I don't want to make too many white friends, cause that shit come from making white friends. Yeah. Quincy Jones them was the last, Dr. Dre them and did it. They the last nigga to be for them boys. Rest of that shit come from them white folk, wanting to be on them white folk stages. I'm gonna keep getting hit in the head with guns at the barbershop and throwing flower pots. This is much safer than getting your shit around. Fuck around, find out you got a big and all the white boy got to suck it. You want to be in that movie, don't you, Charles? Yeah, I heard you got a lumberjack. Who told you that? Harry. Who told Harry? Puffy. Who told Puffy? Usher. Who told Usher? Somebody.
Internet going crazy. Comments that Katt Williams made. Whatever. I can't speak on behalf of the other comedians, but the only thing I can speak for is myself. Katt made some comments on Shannon Sharp's show about when I was on Shannon Sharp was telling him the story of some of the behind the scenes from Friday After Next. Let's start with that. When I went out there, let's just go back. In 2000, I was the host of BET Comic View and in the season 2004. I also worked on this show called Live from LA. That was my first job with BET, and that's where I met Ice Cube, if I'm not mistaken. And Ice Cube was like, man, hey man, I like your work. I want to do some stuff with you. I want to put you in some movies. And Ice Cube started putting me in movies, which really helped my career. I was in All About the Benjamins, of course, when they changed the ending of it, that part didn't make any sense. But then he put me in Friday After Next. And just for clarification, I went out to audition for Friday After Next as Money Mike, not the Santa Claus. And that is the honest God truth. I had no reason to go on there and to go on Shannon Sharp's show and lie about any of that. That's what I auditioned for. Was Money Mike. And I guess the producers, Cube and everybody saw something different. And I think that Money Mike character, Special K, was going to come off as kind of like
just a guy who was hanging around in the strip mall who was just kind of being annoying and almost like a crackhead type of character that was
right.
Just,
so I guess when Katt Williams did it, they added the whole pimp twist to that character, which was actually a better decision and made it funnier. Because ain't no way in the hell I could have executed that role like that. And I'm glad that they made that decision and they put me in a Santa Claus role, which was actually perfect. So when I got back to L.A., they said, hey, your role has changed. You're going to be the Santa Claus. And here's the Santa Claus suit. Put it on, and here's your lines. Sat in the trailer, went over the lines, went over my stuff with Cube, and the rest is history. Had no reason. I just want to clarify that. Had no reason to lie about that. As a matter of fact, my manager at the time, Gary Abdo, who is still one of my best friends, who also helped start my career, and he's the owner of the Atlanta Comedy Theater in Atlanta. We got him on the phone. Just to clarify, Gary Abdo, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm good, man. Just for clarification, you was my manager at the time. We went to L.A. together for the audition. Cube wanted to see us. What is your version?
Yeah, well, we're old, and that was 23 years ago. So, our memories are what our memories are. You went out, you auditioned, they wanted you to play Money Mike. That was the sides that they had sent. The sides are the portion of the script for the part they want you to play. Those were the sides they sent. That was the audition you did. They said, great, we want you to play this role. My recollection is you had to go back and read for the execs from the studio one final time. And the night before that, we got different sides, and they said, no, we want you to play this role. And we didn't understand it. We really were under the impression, well, you had the role as Money Mike, but then all of a sudden they switched it up. Now we understand why. Katt came in, blew them away. He's an incredible performer. That was probably one of the most iconic breakout parts in movie history. I mean, that was literally Katt's first movie. Friday was not Chris Tucker's first movie. Next Friday was not Mike Epps' first movie. For that to have been Katt Williams' first movie, and he exploded. I mean, that literally made him an iconic touring comedian, one of the biggest to do it in this generation. And, the rest, as they say, was history. But, yeah, absolutely, without a doubt, you were auditioning for Money Mike. We were told you had the role, and then that switched up overnight.
And I'm glad I ended up being the Santa Claus, because that role was iconic and not as funny as his. I like the pimp. I personally like the pimp better, but the Santa Claus role was just perfect for me. At the time, I was skinny and could run fast. So
and you could squeeze over that gate. So yeah, that was the.
I just wanted to clarify that. And then there was no contract ever that. In agreement with the first Sunday movie, because that was a whole different production directed by who just directed my Netflix special, David E. Talbert, about me playing Bernice Jenkins. That's something that David called me personally. David and Lynn are fans and have been fans of my work for a long time, and it was like, we want you to play Bernice Jenkins, and and here you go. And that's what happened. And I went out there and shot that in one day, me and Red Grant, and that was a lot of fun. Right. And it had nothing to do with Katt Williams' contract or whatever. So I'm, what I'm saying? Like, I respect Katt. Definitely disappointed that you have to get on the air and explain something like this. But that's the truth, and I don't know what else to say. So there it is.
There's not much else to say. It's indisputable that Katt played that role, killed it, built an entire career out of that one role that all of us look at and go, wow, that's absolutely amazing. But it's also indisputable. You were auditioning for Money Mike. We were told you had the role. You just had to read one more time, and then that switched up.
And the crazy thing about it is we had a conversation when it came out. He said a lot of this 12 years ago, and we had a conversation because I was on 14th Street in Atlanta, right by the Four Seasons Hotel, and I was driving down the street with my granddad in the car, and I saw Katt Williams going across the street on 14th Street, and I said, Katt, what's up? Whatever. I just wanted to make sure we was good. He said, come over and have a cup of coffee with me, because he was walking over to Starbucks. And I went over and he went in there and got the coffee. We was chopping it up or whatever. Just didn't even really talk about the issue or whatever. I said, hey, man, I want you to come out and say hello to my granddad. My granddad is a fan. He came out to the truck. I'll never forget, I was in my Ford F-150, and I came out and spoke to my granddad. He hugged my granddad and wished him well. My granddad was like, keep doing what you're doing, young man. My granddad was living at the time. It was just me and my granddad in the truck, and we dapped it up, and that was it. I mean, that was it, and I thought that we were good. I didn't know that we had any issues, and if there are any issues or if there's anything that I've done, not only to Katt Williams, to anybody, I apologize, and I'm not perfect. I made mistakes, but I did. That's just the honest to God truth, and I did audition for what I auditioned for, and I'm glad that the producers made that decision. And let me address all of the things with Gary. You can help me out with this, because comedy greats like Flip Wilson played Geraldine. Richard Pryor played some roles on his show. Jamie Foxx played Wanda. Martin played Shanae. I did Bernice Jenkins. Tyler Perry did Madea. There's a lot of comics and a lot of comedy greats that did characters for the sake of funny, for entertainment, for the sake of the laugh. And it has nothing to do with nobody's comfortable in the role. Nobody wants to put on a damn dress or comfortable in it, you know. That has nothing to do with my manhood being lessened for trying to play a role and trying to put food on the table for my family. Because
it's a prop. It's nothing more than a prop. It's nothing more than a way to get laugh. I mean, back in Shakespeare's time, there were no females playing females' role. Every female role was played by a man. It's just part of an art form. It's part of what makes it funny. You bring the funny to it. I wish that I'm sure you remember. People don't know about this. The pilot that you shot for the Kings of Comedy TV show, Bernice Jenkins had a whole sketch with Medea.
Yeah, I did a sketch with Medea, me, Earthquake, Tyler Perry, Niecy Nash. We did a thing called The Pew. It's supposed to be like The View, but it was a church-based version of The View, and it was just comedy great to see Bernice Jenkins, the character, and Medea. And I started off doing Bernice Jenkins doing prank phone calls on the Buck Wild Morning Show in Birmingham, which spinned into, hey, I think you should do a character. This would be a great character for this role. So we were all in our 30s, late 20s, doing what we had to do in order to be successful. Now that we are older, I'm comfortable in my job in radio. I'm comfortable in, the roles that I get and the things that I get to do. And I just finished a phenomenal comedy special. So the statement about Ricky Smiley's not funny, I've been sold out since 97.
That part.
Every single show I have done since 97, maybe not big arenas, but I pack up those theaters and have to add shows in comedy clubs. And between radio and all of that and raising a family, I'm comfortable with. What makes me sad, I don't like the way that made my kids feel. And that's why I'm not going to, go after him, because he has kids and family members and nieces and nephews also, and it hurts our family members and people that do love us when we say hurtful things about each other. So we want to wish Katt Williams the best or whatever. It ain't nothing but love over here just because we don't agree. Arnez J and I had beef for about 20 years, and I end up sitting next to him on a plane. And when I saw him, I couldn't do nothing but grab him and hug him. And we text each other all day on Christmas Day. It feel like we trying to make up for lost time. Two talented people that actually love each other. And Special K, Katt Williams got some comedy dates coming up. He's going to be in Birmingham. Katt Williams is coming to Huntsville. I want y'all to go out and support him. I want y'all to pack those damn theaters and show nothing but unconditional love to him and to any comic that come into our space, Birmingham, Huntsville. That's like my area or whatever, where I grew up or whatever. K, you got the dates?
You got January 12th, Cedar Park, Texas. The 14th, Estero, Florida. The 19th, Huntsville, Alabama. The 26th of January, Tupelo, Mississippi. Y'all go ahead and get on Ticketmaster.
Yeah, make sure y'all go out and see Katt Williams and go out and support him, man. It's all love over here because it's enough money out here for everybody. So what we're addressing for everybody that's tuning in, we're just addressing the whole Katt Williams situation. And I'm gonna leave it at that, man, because here's the thing what we all need to understand. Here's what we all need to understand. You know where you've been, but you don't know where you're going. And you don't know who you're going to need. And I promise to God, if there's anything that he or anybody in his family, on his staff ever need, we'll be there. Because I stick up for comics, and we all are not perfect, and we all don't get along all the time. Or whatever. We all have issues, but at the same time, we are all in the same game. I don't agree with all the cues all the time. I go to the conclave and go through different stuff with the bros or whatever, but at the end of the day, Omega Psi Phi, this friendship is essential to the soul.
Look, okay, first I went on Facebook. I typed my name in. They were like, you cannot use celebrity names. I was like, word? So then I see a fake Dave Chappelle on Facebook. I go on Twitter, and the same thing. It's like, oh, it's a fake Dave Chappelle. My name, my picture was not me. No. So I started following the guy. And it turned out, Jimmy, the guy was like hilarious. Girls were tweeting him all these sexy messages. I'm like, hey, who is this guy? And then, like a week or two into it, he just turns evil and starts like a whole Twitter beef with this guy, Katt Williams. You know Katt? Absolutely. Katt Williams starts saying things to this fake Dave Chappelle that's hurting the real Dave Chappelle's feelings. I go to the comedy show, I go over to Katt, and I'm like, yo, Katt, man, I gotta talk to you. I don't have a Twitter page. And he's like, so what, Dave Chappelle? I don't have a Twitter page either.
Surviving comedy, you have to be lovable. Katt Katt is one of the most lovable comedians in the world. And what I meant to say on the interview was, I meant to say, I don't give a how much crack y'all think that smoke. He's the most lovable. But instead I said, I don't care how much crack he smoked, and I've never seen Katt smoke no crack. You know, but I was hoping he wasn't going to take it personal, because even Noriega hit me up after that whole thing came out about me mentioning Katt. And he didn't even remember, like, he said, when did this happen? Because I mentioned I was on Drink Champ and this interview, and he hit me up, like, he DM'd me like, hey, Mike, what did you say on there that I missed? That's how much of a love, that's how you know I wasn't even insulting this guy. It was more giving him his props.
Katt Williams was talking about himself once, and Katt Williams is a crazy person, but a brilliant comedian. And he said something that I've always thought, and he's like, I'm not a fan of me. And he goes like, I don't particularly like me. It's like, that is why he's great, because that makes you work so hard. Like, the worst thing a comedian can be in the beginning is sure of themselves and then incompetent at the same time. It's horrible. It's horrible because you're not good, but you think you're amazing.
Ice Cube, just wanted to address a few things. Everybody been checking out the internet. My man Katt Williams. First of all, I just want to say, we shot that movie over 20 years ago. So, people have different perspectives, and it's been a long time. I also want to say, every comedian that I've worked with, every comedian that I've put in a movie, I only put them in the movie because I thought they was funny. I thought they was perfect for the part. I tried to put them in a position to win. That's what it's all about, I look at from, Chris Tucker and Bernie Mac and Mike Epps, Katt Williams, Ricky Smiley, Michael Blackson, Cedric, Kevin Hart. All these guys I know are funny as hell. I didn't discover them. They were doing their stand-up or doing their thing, and I knew that they were great and that they could act, and that if I have an opportunity, I was going to give them an opportunity. To me, that's what it's all about. As far as specific things, Katt was 100 on a few things. Most of what he was saying, a couple things, I just want to clarify. When we bring in a new, comedian, we do have them try out for different roles. So Ricky did give Money Mike a shot. But when we saw him and, we kind of saw how he moved and how he was, auditioning, we decided that he would be a better, Santa Claus, which was, to me, the perfect casting. When we saw Mike, damn, I call him Money Mike. When we saw Katt, when I saw him, I just knew that he was perfect for Money Mike. And, Katt, said he wrote his role, which, the role was written, but he enhanced it. This is why Katt was so dope in the movie. Money Mike had a small role, about as big as the Santa Claus role, but when we start filming, he was giving us such magic that we kept expanding his role and giving him more to do because he was on point. When we shoot these movies, for one, the scripts are fire, or they wouldn't even do it. The scripts are laugh out funny. But we shoot the script, but once we get what we need from the script, we let the comedians ad-lib, riff, play with the words, do their thing. You know, we give them a take where they can, or 2, 3 takes where they can go off and do what they feel. You know, sometimes it makes the movie, sometimes it don't. You know, when somebody gives you jewels, you want to try to make sure that makes the movie. So in the movie, there's second thing I want to clear up. It was never, I would never shoot a rape scene in a movie, especially like Friday, where you actually see this happening on camera. That ain't my style. If you check out any of my movies, they're not raunchy. You know, we did a movie called Players Club where the subject matter was a little raunchy, but for the most part, even that, we left it to your imagination. So the only reason that kind of stuff was in the movie is because you have 3 villains in Friday After Next. You have Santa Claus stealing presents. You have Damon, just got out of prison, sweating. Craig and Day Day for the rent money. And then you have Money Mike, you know, a pimp that treats his woman, you know, like a property. So Craig is always fighting the villains in the movie, you know, from the Joker Brothers to Debo. And so we already had Craig fighting Santa Claus. And the only real way to get rid of the other 2 villains was to have them go against each other. And the plier joke was always in the script. You know, it was never, we would never ever show that. You know, that's not my style if you look at any of my movies. So, you know, that was never a discussion. You know, we, you know, at that point in everybody's career, you know, we would listen to a certain extent, but we wasn't gonna change the movie for any actor. You know, we do what we feel, and if it was a rape scene, it would have been in the movie. There was no reason not to shoot it. But that's not my style. I don't even like that kind of shit in movies, on camera. And so, you know, that was, to me, a little discrepancy there. You know, Katt, he wrote a lot of his part because, you know, like I said, he was giving us jewels, so we were keeping the camera rolling. He was coming off the dome. He was coming prepared every day to steal the show. You know, that was his mission. And, you know, that's what he did, you know, with the movie. And it launched his career, you know. And I'm proud of the movie. I'm proud of all the guys who've, you know, come through, you know, a Q Vision production and went on to do bigger and better things. And look, you know, a lot of people are talking about pay and how much they was paid on these movies that were extremely low budget. You know, most of these guys work a couple of days, you know. And when you're doing a movie, there's over 100 people working on the movie that need to get paid. Most of them got to get paid every day. And there's pre-production and post-production. Even after you finish with the actors, you got to pay editors and sound people. And my movies are all about quality, so most of the money go up on the screen. I'm not giving you no bullshit. I'm not giving you no low budget, you know, shit you can laugh at because it's so cheap. So, you know, we try to put all the money on the screen. And so any actor that's mad at what they got paid, you know, just look at what you was doing. Look at where your career was at the time. You know, take a look at where it is now. And Friday has something to do with that, I believe. And I put a lot of people in movies, but they ain't never put me in a movie. So you could take that for what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? I've given a lot of these guys opportunities. And I still act, so I'm waiting for a call. I ain't got to produce everything or write everything. I got love for all the comedians that I've worked with. Got, much love for Katt. He spoke up for me a lot. And I just wanted to be clear and clarify some things. And shit, man. I hope y'all have a good 2024. Yeah.
Katt Williams went on Shannon Sharp's podcast, Club Shay Shay, and nobody was safe, brother. Nobody. Here's my thing. Katt talked about Cedric the Entertainer. He talked about D.L. Hughley, and good and bad. I'm not just saying this isn't all bad. He talked about Mark Curry, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley. My name came up. Tiffany Haddish, Wanda Smith. Let me think. Am I forgetting? Let me see. He started off. The thing is, he comes in, guns a-blazing. It's not even like a feeling out portion of the show. Katt just came in and immediately went in on Ricky. It all started with Friday. And as I'm watching it, and here's the thing about Katt. We all got opinions on comedians. And Katt doesn't hold his opinion back. I do. I'll be honest with you. There's some comedians I find funny, some I find hacky. I don't feel the need to air it to the masses. I'll keep that to myself because I like to be Switzerland in all this. I like to be Kevin Hart got it with. I remember when Chris Brown and Drake had the beef, right? Later on, they came together, they did a song, did a music video together. And I remember Kevin was cool with both. Kevin was cool with Chris, and he was cool with Drake. Like, really cool with both. And I was thinking, how's Kevin going to navigate this? Because some people, man, when you got beef, they're like, either you're with me or against me. And I'm more Switzerland. I tend to try to get along with everybody. You never know when work's going to come your way. Somebody might have a project. They're thinking of you. So I kind of keep, if I have anything negative, just out and out negative for no reason, unsolicited, I tend to keep it to myself. Now, if you talk shit about me or the Monique situation years ago when she compared Will Packer to Harvey Weinstein, I spoke up on that because Will's my friend. He's put me in 3 movies, produced one of my comedy specials, and I was just like, I don't know your beef with Tyler. I don't know your beef with Oprah. That has nothing to do with me. But you spoke on my friend. You compared him to, a sexual predator, and I didn't like it. So I just spoke up. And that was kind of out of character of me. But I'm not going to say I'm never going to speak up. I'm going to stand up for myself if you're talking shit about me. But as far as like just unsolicited going in on people, that's just not me. Katt's different. You ask Katt a question, he's going to give you his answer unfiltered, unsolicited. You could get mad about it, or you'd be like, that's really how he feels. But regardless whether you agree or you disagree with what Katt is saying on Shannon Sharp's podcast, you're watching. It's getting everybody's attention because people are commenting on it. He went in on Faison, who's my boy. I love Faison. But then Faison started making posts on Instagram. Then I'm laughing at. So at the same time, I'm looking at Katt going, oh. I'm looking at Faison going, oh. Now, if I see Katt, I'm still going to be cool with Katt. Katt's always been cool with me. He's done some cool things for me in my life. Faison, still going to be cool with Faison. That's my boy. And even then, I could talk to Katt about Faison and not have to go in on Faison. I could talk to Faison about Katt and not feel like I have to piggyback it and go in on Katt. I just sit and listen and laugh at it all. Because if you're a comedian and you're a true stand-up comedian, we're offense-proof. We cannot be offended by anything. We can catch strays. We can catch arrows like everybody else. And we always say, like, just be honest. Don't say something behind my back. Whether you like Katt or not, he's not going to talk behind your back. However he feels about you, that's how he feels about you. Now, he did say one thing. He talked about Ricky Smiley, and he talked about when Ricky Smiley went on Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp's podcast, which is a great podcast, especially for, I know I'm a white guy, but for my demographics, and I'll get into that in a minute, what Katt said about me, but for my demographics, Club Shay Shay, I'd rather go on Club Shay Shay than Joe Rogan. Even though, okay, I got to get into, I got to unpack this podcast, because Katt made a comment where he said, why you think Gary Owen, who's a white guy, has been doing stand-up for 25 years, hasn't crossed over. And when he said it, I was like, wait a minute, was that a good thing or bad thing? And I literally had to go to Twitter and start asking people, was I catching strays or what was that? And they was like, no, they were saying you haven't sold your soul. That's why you haven't crossed over. You've been consistently you, and that's why you haven't, quote unquote, crossed over. So I was like, oh, okay, that made sense. Now, I'm not going to get into it, but I've been, I was in an awkward situation one time where I can't say for 100% this person was trying to make me do something, casting couch type deal, but it felt like it. And I was like, is this that point where I've always heard, would you suck a dick for $1 million? And I was thinking to myself, and I was in this office in this room going, well, this is the I'm about to answer this question. And the answer was no, I wouldn't. So now I listen, I can't say for 100% that's where it was going, but it felt like it. It felt like it. You got to be in the room to feel it. And I was like, oh, this dude is really coming on to me. Like, this is happening in real life. And the dude did it, and it always remain nameless. I think he was feeling me out. Like, is this dude? And this was years ago. I was young in the game, but I was just like, wait a minute, is this happening right now? I was like, oh my god. And then I was like, I made it very clear I like women. I'm not going that route. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm not gonna get into it. But I was wondering. I was like, oh, is this happening to me right now in real life? So I think Katt was saying I haven't sold my soul.
What's your take on Katt Williams' situation? Everybody up on this distraction. Let me tell you something. It's a distraction. Katt Williams is a very talented brother, and he's very vocal, And my take on it is everybody talk about, I'm cool with. You know how I be cool with people? I don't be around them a lot. Me and Steve Harvey let me do the Hoodie Awards several times. I got to do his radio show. He didn't help me out a lot of times, man. I ain't kissing his ass, but he ain't put me in his movie, which that's what I wanted to do. I was hoping, he said, you and Isaiah are the perfect duo. Somebody said that you pal _ 85. You Paul, you pal. You know him? Okay. Well, thank you, Paul. You pal 85. I appreciate the love. Yeah, but my thing on the Katt Williams thing, I think Katt, he just gonna talk. He one of them cats, man. He ain't afraid of nobody. He say what's on his mind, and he probably has some confrontation with our family because you got to remember, the more the money go up in your life, the more the what you call spite comes out of other people. And if y'all all on the same school, see the one thing about black entertainers, we think it's only one bag. And we don't even understand, man. I couldn't even get in with the Fridays and all that stuff. I don't know why, because they wouldn't call me, but I got in with the Adam Sandlers. I got in with Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. When Netflix wouldn't let me do a special with them, they put my special on that I filmed somewhere else. I did Showtime, and thank you Showtime so many times, and I appreciate Netflix showing my special on their platform. Tubi, big shout out to them. But hey man, but like I tell people all the time, we think it's just one bag, and that's how these beefs come up. You think because you making it, you can, you start giving beef, and then some comments do still. I seen a comedian go up right before me and do my damn joke. I seen one go up right after me and do one of my damn jokes, and they talked about it, and did the joke, and they famous, and I fronted the nigga about it. But when Katt talking about his experiences, and some of it might be a far-fetched, and it might be some of it's comedy. He a comedian, and you be thinking everything he say is beef, and some of the stuff he probably got beef with. He know these people. This dude, I want some of that good career. I don't want the bull crap that he going through. But man, that brother was making $100,000 a show. He showed that on a video one time. He was making $100,000 a show. All I need is 1 year of that, Lord. 1 year, Jesus. I claim it in your mighty name. But my thing is, man, I know all these comics, man, and from Quake to Ricky Smiley. And Ricky Smiley looked out for me, man. I got locked up in Oklahoma.
Can you do starting in 5 minutes, like at 9:50?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, Jesus. That dude look just like Jesus. the white Jesus. But, well, you can't spell hustle without saying STL. You damn right, baby. But we get down, man. I don't have no time for beef. I mean, even when I had somebody was mad at me, I confronted them. We did it, and we moved on. I don't sit up and fester in that, man. And, Katt been blessed. All these guys been blessed to do what they do. I'm blessed to do what I do. I ain't even got the $100,000 to show. But I'm blessed that these wonderful people come out to see me every week. They come out and holler at me and let me go up and do my thing, and I try to stay fresh as funny as possible for all of them. And I got family to take care of, man. I got things lingering over me, man. When I get out of the game in a few years, I may tell some stories about some stuff, because I've seen some shit. And I've been through some shit, but I mean, the things that I've done, I've been in, I mean, people wouldn't even believe, because I keep myself on a platform that, you know, people say, oh, you just nice. I said, I'm not nice, I'm kind. I'm kind, but you cross me, you'll see another nigga. But I'm not that one to go up and just bother you and, you know, go trip off stuff. And if you steal my joke, I make a better one. And you know, a comedian stole my joke, and I went up after the nigga, and y'all know him, y'all go buy tickets to the nigga's show, and he a new booty. And he went up and did my shit, and I went up behind him and did my shit again. And I got a standing ovation. That's how hard I go. So that's how you got to look at those things. But, you know, he talked about a lot of different categories, and I think it was great podcast for Club Shay Shay. It probably got Club Shay Shay all the interest he needed, because that nigga, I done been talked about on his show a couple of times, and he ain't asked me to come on his show. Lavelle Crawford been brought up with Bruce, he been brought up with Ricky Smiley, and ain't once he said, hey man, let me get Lavelle on, because he said on with Katt on there talking about, I think I got all the best comedians on here, and I was like, oh, for real? And I said, that's cool. That's cool. I said, because, you know, hey, none of that stuff make me or break me. Ain't none of them cats talking about people ain't gonna put no money in my pocket. I work with every single person he named so I can make some money. We ain't gotta see each other. I don't have no beef with nobody. And if I do, we'll holler. I ain't one of them niggas that walk around with this energy. And I think Katt, one of them cats that don't need it, because he say their names and they ain't afraid to do it. I respect him. He got a lot of nuts. And I like that about him. I respect him. Katt gave me the best compliment I ever got. And, you know, some people say he gave them money. I would love to get $100 grand from him, but I ain't paying it back. But he gave me the best compliment ever. He said, I became famous off my stand-up alone. And I met him, that's when I was at the Ralph grocery store. And he was out in the car, and his people was inside. They said he come there all the time. I went out there, and we shook hands, man. It was good to see Katt. And me and Katt been knowing each other a long time. But you know, that's how I chime in on this stuff. And I said, the comedians that he named, when you chime in on stuff, it just makes it more valid. You know, if it ain't true, you know, all the money you got and all the blessings you got, why you on Instagram going, oh, that ain't true, that ain't true? You making yourself look guilty. And man, people say stuff about me, I holler at you. I ain't trying to bring the internet. Somebody trying to choose a side. Motherfucker, I don't have no side. I got God's side. I got my family side. I ain't in that BS bullshit. No bullets was thrown at me. I mean, that world is what it is, you know. I mean, the opportunities I got, I thank the Lord for every one of them. And He's blessed me, and He can bless you too if you want to do it. But if you sit around worrying about somebody talking about you all day, you gonna be tired and dead.
So I want to know your advice for Katt Williams right now.
I know Katt. Katt can fight. Katt ain't gonna be fucked with. That's my That's big Unc right there. I'm with Katt, man. I stand with Katt, man. Yeah, I'm with Unc. So, yeah, I'm with him. If he catch one of them in person, it'll be the same energy he had on that podcast to their face, and he'll be on that with them people. That's one thing I can respect about it. He's not gonna say nothing on no podcast that he wouldn't say to their face.
I mean, a lot of comedians feel like, you know, they're kind of against him right now. I mean, where do you kind of stand right now? I mean,
I can never be against Katt Williams. I'm with him. I'm on his team forever. Me and Katt was on my first TV show, Tracy Morgan show. I've been knowing Katt since I was about 7 years old. I'm 27 now. So, you know what I mean? One thing about it, I stand on loyalty.